So Salesforce.com does a lot of good things very well, right? But you get out of it what you put into it. And after 10 years of use with just Salesforce as sort of a relatively flat database to house, customer information and application information and manage a funnel, we got to a point where in the maturity of our business, we realized we really need to start to polish our IP, which again is our understanding and knowledge of our customers, our relationships, and bringing those things together to continue to develop the solutions. So I went out looking for a tool that would enable us to really do what we call kind of strategic account profiling very well, right? Salesforce is great. It's great if you just need a list of customers or a list of opportunities or a list of products. It's very good. And you can report on those things. But we wanted to get better at communicating to a third party our business, our understanding of one of our end customers. And we wanted to do it in a way that allowed this other interested party to know the scope of our business with the customer, the level of penetration that we've achieved throughout various levels of management at the customer. And Salesforce really didn't give us a way to do that. So when I engaged with Prolific and started looking at the Crush tool and how we can really start to generate a standard format for account profiling, a standard format for strategic account planning, it was really a no-brainer, right? It was really a no-brainer. And right out of the box, I would say Crush probably addressed 80 to 85% of what we needed in a solution, what I thought was going to be valuable. And the last 10 or 15% through the help of the Prolific kind of applications team and customer success manager and those people, we were able to do some creative things that I believe hadn't been done before by a Crush customer, with the cross-sell functionality and being able to generate cross-sell templates that we could use not only with our end user customers, but also with our distributor partners and our supplier partners. And that was really the thing that was the whipped cream on the cake, I guess, is that we got much better and much more concise at being able to communicate our position with a customer, because that's valuable to us, that's our IP. And then also be able to manage ourselves, hold ourselves accountable with the various parties that we participate with in this complex business. Because there's, we're the independent rep. We work with suppliers. Suppliers have networks of distributors that we have to manage. And then we have the customer. The first thing that was very intriguing to me is that it's a native application, right? So it wasn't going to require me or my team to change our familiar behavior patterns that we had been using, right? So that was probably the biggest, right out of the box, the biggest benefit that I saw. And then once I got into it and started meeting the apps team and the success manager and my account manager, I realized that, not only am I getting something out of the box that was really great, but I was also able to, kind of format this thing to speak my business's language. Prolific didn't ask me to adapt to Prolific. Prolific actually adapted to my business, and that's what I needed. If I recall back to the first engagement, there was a lot of open-ended questions asked of me of what I'm trying to accomplish. How do I do things today? And we went through that, and time was taken to do that, right? And then, Prolific came back to me and sort of had okay, Now let us show you our tool. Now that we understand your business, let us show you our tool and let us show you our vision on how we believe our tool would fit into your business. But that wasn't the end of it. It wasn't like, let us show you our vision, we'll give you a quote, sign the PO and we're off and running. It wasn't like that at all. It was more of, okay, you've told us about your business. We told you what we think we can do. Now let's come together and figure out what's actually going to be valuable, right? So before I ever paid any money, signed up for anything, I had a clear understanding of what was available today, what the apps team could enable me to do in the future, and what the process would be for me to get those things done. And it's not a very complicated process. It's, I generate an email, I send a question, I talk to my, account manager, and he will tell me, hey, let's get an apps guy on the phone with you. We'll talk through it. We'll figure out how to do it. And lo and behold, 2 or 3 days later, 1 or 2 days later, sometimes the changes have been made right in my native, app, right in my environment. And we've had 0 defects so far, and we've done some, I think, pretty innovative things with some of the functionality and Prolific Crush to fit into my business. And we haven't had any hiccups or false starts on any of them. As I mentioned to you earlier, Ram, we don't make money until the solution is successful and in the marketplace, right? So if you go back, that means that we have to be working very efficiently. We have to be very mindful of our time. I need to make sure that my sales engineers are in front of customers to the max extent possible. And I'll tell you, the past year's been challenging, right? Because our customers don't want us to come to their building. A lot of, in the beginning of this pandemic, people weren't really wanting to meet out. So there wasn't a lot of face-to-face. So we had to be very targeted, strategic, and efficient in our engagements with our customers. What Prolific has enabled us to do is spend less time preparing for business reviews with our suppliers, and has given us more time in front of the customer. And I've tried to, it's kind of a rudimentary metric, right? But I've tried to look at the calendar. I've tried to look at, how many account calls and account interactions are my team doing every week? How many hours are we spending administratively collaborating on a presentation for a business review? And I think that we've probably gained 20% of our time back by using our account profile templates out of Prolific to do business reviews and business planning. So 20% is 1 out of 5 days in the week, right? So we just took, what was a 3 to 4 day sales week, meaning I've got time to be in front of the customer 3 to 4 days a week. And I think we've bumped it up to 4 to 5 days a week because we're doing less of the, trying to pull together information to do a business review with our suppliers or with our distributors. Absolutely. I'll tell you, and I wouldn't just recommend it and say, hey, this is a pretty good thing that will do good things for you. For any business out there that's a sales and marketing business like mine, small business, I would tell them, do you value your business? Do you know what your IP is? And are you protecting it at all? Are you putting it in a place that will allow it to survive your current team and even you, down the road? And if the answer is yes to those, which I think any small business owner would say yes to those, I'd say, well, you have to have a tool like this. If it's important, then you got to have the best. And that's where, where I sit and the experience that I've had over the past 6 months with Prolific and Crush Tools specifically, absolutely, I'd recommend it.